C-Spot. C-Spot run. C-Spot to be continued. Aww.
Bulma, can I borrow your ball radar?
Those two lines were the first lines I recorded as Goku and Gohan ever. 2007. I bet they sound very different to what they are now. And that's 13 or so years of progress. It was all the beginning of Dragon Ball Z Abridged. A journey and a voyage of discovery, realizing what I could do and what I could do to help entertain you as part of a really solid crew. You know, when things end, they don't really end. They live on within us. I don't think this should be a time for sadness. I think this should be a time for celebration of an endeavour that encompassed a huge part of our lives and managed to set us all down a path of entertainment which has truly managed to grow and evolve over the last decade. More than that. And yes, I know that may sound positively corny and schmaltzy, but if you're a subscriber of this channel, then you know that's just how I operate. I like to see the brighter side of things, and even though this announcement isn't the happiest news to have come out of the Team 4-star camp, it's certainly a lot better than hearing about mass copyright claims or even the channel going down. Remember that time in 2016? That was pretty intense. If you're sad about this news yourself, then it's okay to be so. It's been a huge part of our lives, and I've known people who were really young when they first started to watch this, and they're now adults. This has been a wild ride, exploring the more nuanced side of Dragon Ball Z, and how some of the quirks that we all knew about were brought to light, but not mocked about or derided or anything like that, but just made part of the overall makeup of the show. It's like us doing DBZA, we're just going like, oh yeah, you remember that? That was a thing. Oh, that was good times. You remember it fondly and just make it out to be something that makes the show what it is, and nothing else can be mistaken for it. It's our show. Now, of course, Dragon Ball Z Abridged isn't known by everyone within the Dragon Ball fandom, and hey, a lot of the fans of the show itself most likely don't like what we've done in the past, and that's okay too. I think that's something that is important to remember. You're not going to please everyone. If you're wondering where this news is coming from, the guys made a video on the main Team 4-star channel that you can check out for all of the details behind it. What they said about not wanting to stagnate though, or becoming something that the original show wasn't, is very much true. I can fully get behind that. After all, that one popular quote from The Dark Knight that everybody knows about is one that would resonate very strongly here. Let's go back to 2008 me, where the 21-year-old version of myself was at university, just about to graduate, not having a clue about what was going to happen in my future. I was about to step out into the grand wide world at the worst possible time during the whole Lehman Brothers thing. If you don't remember, look it up. And trying to find a job was practically impossible in my chosen field after being told for years by my tutors that, oh, 90% of you would find a gig within 6 months or so. It took me nearly 2 years. But what does this have to do with DBZA? Well, put simply, it provided me some important personal growth and focus whilst I was trying to do my darndest to try and find work and maybe improve my skills on the likes of Naruto Abridged back in the day. All of this abridging, including this exciting new show, set me down the path towards realizing that being an editor was something I could actually stick with for the long term. It gave me a career. It gave me something long term. Whatever would happen with abridging, I could be an editor, and I love it. It also led me to meeting so many of you out there, tens of thousands of you, over the years, and we could all share our love for Dragon Ball together. It was so good. It also led me to Philly, my now wife, a new family, and, of course, a very, very fussy cat, as well as a puppy inbound later this year. Now, one of the biggest questions you might have is whether this channel will be affected in any way. Well, no. Nothing's changing here, and I can safely say that. This has been through a lot. The whole Article 13 didn't stop us. Copper ain't gonna stop us. So the channel has had to face a lot of obstacles over the last few years, but normal service is continuing here, including Dragon Ball R&R. One of the most important parts of DBZA that it gave me, it was an opportunity to actually discover the world. I never really thought I would get to travel. And just getting to travel to see all of you across the planet, from countries like Finland, Ireland, America of course, Canada, all these different places, it gave me a passion for exploring the world and understanding what this planet has to offer. Not just the sights and the sounds and stuff like that, but the people. Seeing all the different types of fans and all the people that love the show, love anime. It's such a delight to get to see you and talk to you, to nerd out about stuff, to discuss things, talk about what ifs in person. It's just, it really pleases my heart so much. I'm just really proud to have been a part of this ride, and I just never really thought it would actually be at this point where, you know, I'm in my 30s and I was still doing it and really enjoying it all the more. I remember recording for episode 60, and I may have gone over this in my advent videos, but it's important here. It was a really, really sad time, as well as a very pressured one. There was all of the responsibility to make sure that the Gohan Super Saiyan 2 performance was really at the best that I could. And even though I may have stumbled with the scream, the rest of it just came naturally. And when it came to recording for that Goku speech at the end where, you know, it was saying about goodbye and stuff like that, that was really hard. I remember, you know, Scott and I in the booth, you know, we just kind of looked at each other and it was just really, really heavy. And we were quite somber for the rest of that day. Even though my throat was aching really badly because those recording sessions do take a lot out of you, we were also just really kind of lost for words and just how we felt. It brought me back to the first time I recorded lines for the series proper in 2008. And when we were starting out, our goal was not to become famous or anything like that. We were just wanting to have a really good time. We were just 4 chaps who liked Dragon Ball and wanted to work together for the fun of it. It's been fun, and it will continue to be fun working with those guys. I want to showrun a series myself with them in the future, and I think I do have something to present to them in the not too distant future, so stay tuned for that one. There's a lot of things coming in the future for myself and Team 4-Star, so even though the guys have made the very brave step to end the show on their terms and on a high, they're not going to be going anywhere. And I'm not going anywhere either. My mission in this community is to provide entertainment, creativity, as well as promoting the art of storytelling to people, because telling stories is a very important part of human life. To people who are always curious but never quite sure where to start. I'm all about giving it a go when it comes to these things. And that all came from DBZA. When I began, I was really much of an introvert and very lacking in confidence, expecting to live out my life alone. But thanks to this show and the opportunities that it provided, as well as the love that you provided out there also, it turned that prospect around into something better, where I can give back to all of you for all of the kind words and support that you've given me, as well as my family. I remember a father and daughter coming up to me in Philly one time at a convention, and they told me that they spend their daddy-daughter time together, watching our content, my content as well. And that really struck a chord with me, and it really galvanized my approach to all of this. It really doesn't matter if things don't go out the way they do, but so long as you can make someone happy out there, then it's all good. You've made a positive impact. Thanks for listening to me ramble on, guys, but after not saying much about this for a while, I felt like I needed to say something, but something on a more positive note, remembering all of the good things that DBZA has provided for all of us. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I shall see you in the next video, as always. Catch you later.
Now plant your feet, grit your teeth, and eat that